Oh boy. Oh boy. Probably gonna get a copyright strike on that. So this is the beautiful world. It's a big test world. Neither. So we've got ledge grabbing. Let's show the ledge grabbing. So you can grab cool ledges like this. Can move left and right. Can vault up and down ledges. We can also do things where you jump on the ledge, and then you can like jump between ledges, like that. And you can also get stuck, which is cool. That's an unintended bug. But so yeah, recently I rewrote a lot of the ledge finding stuff. So it's a lot smoother now. You can basically grab onto any ledge and sort of any kind of curved surface, even though there isn't really curved surfaces in 3D. It sort of like fakes that curvedness here. And we can grab on ledges of sort of any angle, but there's a limit to like what angle you can go on. So for example, here, you can't grab onto ledge because your character would be in the way. But it would be quite easy to change so that isn't a problem. But one of the things I wanted to fix today, which I've sort of been putting off for a little bit, is stopping grabbing ledges where your hands can't actually fit. So that's why it's the title of this is finding a space for hands to grab or something like that. And this happens just because there isn't any kind of like collision check where your hands would be. There is a collision check for not climbing up stuff. So if we turn on this debug thing where we see like all the ray casts and all the collisions, set on again, you can see that there is a sort of a collision check to see where the player would be able to vault up. That's done with like a box. I think what it's called, like maybe it's a cylinder. It's like cylinder sweep. The idea is that you sort of take this collision shape and then sweep it along, and then if there's a hit in that sweep, then you can't climb up. So we do that. Well, I say we, but the wonderful code I've written does that essentially, I guess, every frame. And so I think there needs to be something similar probably for grabbing. Let me just quickly turn off a debug thing because I have to keep turning this off and on. Let's try that again. Let's turn it on. Yeah, so I think there should probably be something similar as well for for where your hands are placed. I wonder if I can slow this down and see. So you can see there's a kind of, it's very fast, but there is like a bunch of raycasts that do a check, and it's during that point that we'd want to check for the hand space, which is quite easy to add. I think so I've actually implemented that before, but I think the hard bit is dealing with floors that have an angle. It's quite easy to add like a collision shape at the point of where your hands would be on the floor, but if that floor is angled so that it sort of intersects the collision shape, that's a bit of a problem. And the way to get around that is you I guess you'd transform that collision shape, like you'd rotate it depending on the floor angle, which is easy to find out. The hard bit is I've never really done any kind of collision shapes where you transform that collision shape. I've only ever done like collision shapes where you just say, this is where the collision shape is and this is how big it is, but I've never done any kind of transforms. And I think most of this will just be sort of me reading and being stuck and visualizing, but maybe that's fine. There's a bit here where, let's have a look. I haven't worked on this for like over weeks. I need to remember where everything is. Let's have a look. Yes, I think get ledge info is essentially the whole thing. It's the one function that finds a ledge and returns the info of that ledge, and it does a bunch of checks. So, for example, if there's no wall, then there's no ledge. If the wall angle is wrong, then there's no ledge. If there's no floor, then there's no ledge. And if the floor angle is wrong, then there's no ledge. But once you get past all those bits, so I think we want to add a check here to say like, okay, is the space, is there space for your hands, essentially? I think we'll do that bit here. So let's add a to do. And because I guess technically there shouldn't be a ledge if there's no space for your hand. But the climbing up check, that's not done here because you want to be able to grab onto ledges that you can't climb up. For example, if you have like little ledges on a wall, you want to be able to shimmy along those, but not be able to climb up. So that check is actually done somewhere else. So yeah, that's that. And this stuff here is just actually finding that point on the ledge, which is actually somewhat straightforward. Though it might have some problems with like curved surfaces, which I haven't actually tried yet. No one's got any questions. And maybe no one's here. Guess we'll get to it. I have like a few sort of. I've created like this global thing that helps me with raycasts. Because I find when you do raycasting code in Godot, it's kind of like a lot to set up. Like you have to write at least 5 lines of code just to do one single raycast. At least in Godot 4 now, they've actually made it a little bit more for both. And so I have this sort of helper thing called raycast, which allows you to, just little helper methods that handle that for you. But it's a bit of a mess at the moment. So I've got one here for like Clyde's cylinder, which I use for the, what did I use that for? I forgot what I use that for currently. I'm just using it as a test. So I think I might use like the cylinder, I guess, and then maybe add some options to the cylinder params that allow us to add a transform or something. So I guess the first thing to do is add that. And let's have a look. So we'll go back to here. We'll do Clyde cylinder and then give it a position. So the position is, I guess the position would be sort of somewhat inwards from where the ledge point is. I think so. So we've already got the, it's weird, I'd say ledge, but it's called edge here. Maybe we can use the edge position then. So let's actually find hand. And then I guess want to subtract from the, I guess like the, got some cool spam. Well, let's just see where the current edge position is, because I think that's going to help me think about that. So, using a little add-on that allows us to draw debug information. Let's just do this for now. So if we grab onto something, so now we can see that's where the edge position is, right on that edge. I was going to say vertex, but I guess that's an edge. Edge position is on the edge, which is good. We're going to have a floor normal going up this way, which would be the angle of the floor. So I guess we want to go perpendicular, I guess, to the floor angle, but going inwards. I do have a edge normal, but that thing is flattened. Yeah, that thing is flattened, which I can show you here actually. So if we grab onto the ledge now, yeah, we can see that. It's really hard to see. Maybe it isn't flattened. I don't know. No, that is flat. So that's flattened on the y-axis. We do have a wall normal, but don't want to use that because the wall could be sort of any kind of angle, and so you want you want the floor normal. So let's take the floor hit normal, and I guess cross it with the up direction. Let's see what that gives. A lot of time with like using cross, I just throw in a bunch of random stuff and see what thing actually comes out eventually. So that's definitely not what we want. Actually, maybe we want to cross it with. So that is given a direction. Looks kind of good, but let's see. Nah, that's kind of messed up. Yes, that's the floor normal. I do actually have the plane. So I have this plane here which sort of... where is it? Yeah. So I wonder if I could get actually a direction out of that. So I'm thinking, I guess because part of it is I'm having to speak to myself. I feel like when I speak, I get a lot dumber. But I think what we could do, because we've got sort of this plane that represents the floor, we can get a direction backwards using, I guess, the wall, or I guess the edge normal, and then just project that position onto the plane, which would give us I guess a point that's backwards. I feel like you'd use it with cross, but I just don't know what other vector to cross that floor normal with, because I thought it would be up. I don't know, maybe it is up. Let me try again, hang on. Let's see what this goes. I just feel like it's going to give me something that's a bit wonky though. Hang on, I do have edge direction. You know what? If I've got edge direction, I think that will actually be enough for this. Edge direction is just a direction of the edge going right. So I guess actually you could probably use this edge direction. Okay, I think that's giving me something that I would want. So that red line is the direction I want to place the position. Yeah, that's it. I think. So yeah, I already had the edge direction, and the edge direction was calculated by taking the edge normal and crossing it with the inverse of the floor normal. I guess that just gave me like a thing pointing right instead of left, which is easier to do with maths. When things are going, right. So what I've done is just literally just take that again and then cross it with, let's see, with the floor here again. I think there's a way to do this a lot easier with like bases, but yeah, I don't know much about that. Cool. So let's take this. That's the edge direction. And let's say and that's the hand position will be the edge position, so we don't actually need that for now. And then let's place this cube hand direction here. And I guess we would have sort of a value that would represent how far we go in. For now, I'll just do 0.1 meters. Yeah, let's see that. Yeah, so now we have something that's 0.1 meters in from the edge. And let's just check on all the surfaces. Whoop. Keyboard doesn't seem to be working. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So I think that'd be a nice position to check for. Yeah, and then we want to actually go a little bit up from the floor, because otherwise it will always be colliding with the floor. So, let's see, hand the hand position is going to equal to this. And then let's actually add it here. We'll just add the floor normal. Again, magic numbers for now. Everything's a magic number to start off with. Let's go 0.1 up. And I'm just going to make this slightly smaller just to make it obvious that it's a point. Yeah, and there we have a position which is slightly above, and I think this is where I'd want to check. So we can do the glide cylinder, give it a hand position, a height, I don't know, 0.1. Let's try that. Wish autocomplete would work here. Radius, guess 0.05 for now. I think that's good. Yeah, I guess collision mask. We're gonna want that to avoid colliding with other players. Oh yeah, because there's 2 players in this game. So do I have a collision mask already? Yeah. Let's see. No, I don't. Man, autocomplete is just not working today. Oh, yeah. No. Probably my fault there. I'm not working today. Well, I'm not. Literally not working today. Collision mask. See what other ones we got. World collision mask. What's this thing? Yeah, I think I'll use this. I should probably store this somewhere more accessible. For now, I'll just use this. So this is just all the weld collisions are just on this layer 1 for now. Cool. Yes, let's get those params here. So I think I can actually get rid of this because the raycast helper thing that I've created, it has visualization, like debugging visualization built in. So we should not have to draw that anymore. It's going to be really messy though because I got a bunch of other like collision things going on. But yeah, that's the cylinder. I don't know how to. I haven't bothered like drawing cylinders, so at the moment it's represented by a cube. But that is the thing. I think this is not going to work straight away. I think I'm going to have to like sweep it from that hand position to sort of to the edge, because I think if that shape is inside a cube, for example, I think it would register as not colliding. Either sweep it or just make a really long cylinder. But yeah, let's have a look. Perms. Cool. Let's call this hand hit. So let's say if the hand hit isn't empty, then let's set the error. So yeah, this whole ledge thing, it doesn't just return like null if a ledge is not found or there's a problem with the ledge. It returns like a specific error, and the reason for this is that later on at some point, we want to differentiate between different reasons why the ledge finding stuff failed, and that's because the ledge finding stuff called get ledge info is actually used like iteratively. So when we find a ledge, it runs multiple times along that ledge, and I think later on at some point there might be cases where you can't find a ledge at one point. Let's say there's like a tiny little gap, but there might be more ledge afterwards. So we want to check like, oh, is there no floor here? Then let's look for a ledge a little bit further along. But yeah, that's a thing for that's a problem for future me at some point. Yeah, so that's that. No floor here, but yeah, let's make a new error called no hand room. No space for no grab space maybe. Hand space. Yeah, it's a weird name, but it can all be fixed. Cool. So I think this might not work, but let's see, because I think of that. Yeah. So the collision is happening inside the cube here. If I turn on the raycast, so that's not why it's not working. But I think if we had, let's see, it works there. I think if we actually move that cube back, we could get to fail in a good way. So maybe like that. Let's see. Nope, doesn't work. I think it's still in there. Oh no, it's gliding. Let's see. Let's print the hand here. Yeah, so it is empty there. So I think we probably do want to do a sweep, or like my raycast cylinder thing is totally broken. I mean, maybe actually it'd be better to do just a raycast from the player to the hand position. That might be actually a safer option. I don't know why I haven't done that. There might be a reason why, but let's try that instead actually. So instead of doing a hand hit, we can use all the same position stuff, but instead we'll just do a, I guess, intersect. What's it called? Intersect ray from the. It should be from the player position, but I don't think we have the player position here. Start position. I'm gonna go from the hand position minus. So let's go, outwards a bit, then go to the hand position, and let's see, hand position, collision mask. Yeah, this is the old way of doing it. All my raycast helpers are like in a state of some old way of doing it and new way of doing it. So yeah, so that's totally broken, but at least it's not grabbing it. We can have a look at what's going on there. I think that my raycast are totally messed up here. Hang on. Yeah, it's not good. Looks like yeah, I need to have, this should be just hand position. Otherwise, if we use the direction, it's just going to go to the the center of the world, which is, yeah, so that sort of works. And then the raycast still looks really wrong. Hang on. Oh no, there it is. I think that's it there. It's going into the player. But it is there. You can sort of see it. And going out. So to stop it going into the player, we just need to do the similar thing that we're doing here, which is say, okay, let's shorten this array by 0.1. Let's say 0.2, because we want to kind of go quite a bit out. Sounds like I know what I'm doing. I don't. Well, I know how to fire some raycasts. That's about it. So yeah, so it doesn't grab here, and that's because there's a collision between, the ray. And yeah, I think that works. You know, I probably won't have to do then the transforming a collision shape, which would be nice, because I don't really want to learn right now. Yeah, it seems to be working. Is there anyone actually watching this? Says there are. Everyone could be bots though. I don't mind bots. Message if you're not a bot. But maybe bots can do that, so. Yeah, there's still like some random glitches though. Like for example, you might have just seen there. Let's reset the camera. Maybe that's something I could do in the stream as well. Jumping here, or actually you actually grab past the wall, and that's because as you're jumping, the raycast sort of hits underneath the wall, and then that's how it finds the ledge. It's just like, oh, I found the wall, let's start finding the ledge, and then it'll go up here and it'll find the ledge that's here instead of here. And I think the way to do that is, the way to fix that would probably be I guess checking the space out from the ledge to see if there's space for a player. I've just kind of avoided doing that for now because I wasn't sure if I would again have to like start transforming shapes, which I don't want to do. But maybe I could just sort out with more raycasts, because I want to be able to like climb up stuff even if it's slightly poking out. But maybe that's possible to do. But yeah, this seems to be working just fine. So, yeah, so I can't grab onto that, which is good. Maybe I want to test it with a slightly smaller ledge. Let's have a look. So let's make a ledge that's like 0.1 in size. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so we can still grab onto that. Seems fine. Yeah, that seems a bit weird, but I guess that's because it's grabbing onto the ledge here, which I think that's what would be nice if you sweep a shape, because then at least the raycasts then have sort of a thickness. If I turn on the ledge as it's found, so I think it's found the ledge here, which I mean it's kind of accurate, but it looks kind of stupid because the character's so wide. So maybe it would be better to either do like 2 raycasts or like a shape sweep. I don't know. I'm kind of alright with it for now, even though it looks crap. I mean, there's stuff you could do, right, where, because I know this ledge finding stuff, it can, you can actually see the sort of the size of the actual ledge. So there's stuff you could do with that where, if the ledge is a certain size, then, make the character animation bring their hands closer together. So you could have it so that they could like, they can grab onto this, but then it's visually, it looks right. But this is just temporary character stuff, so it doesn't really matter about that. So I might leave that in for now. I mean, there's a lot of bugs I've just left in for now because it's not really important. But that seems to work. Yeah. If anyone has any questions or anything, that would be fun to answer. I can answer any questions. If not, I'll do the space thing, I think. So let's get rid of that. Says there's one person in this room, I think. So there's not going to be any questions. But maybe I'll have some questions. Cool. Yeah, I think we'll maybe just do one more thing for this and then call it. Or not. Let's let's try and fix this bug then, where you sort of grab onto ledges, even if there isn't a space for you there. So this one. Whoop. Oh, it doesn't happen when I do it. There. Yeah, I think that's another similar thing. I guess it would be an actual shape collision. I've still got magic numbers here anyway, so I mean this is stuff I'll have to clean up at some point. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know where to put this stuff at the moment. I don't know if it should be like parameters that get passed in, or it gets set on ledge finding search a thing. Probably the latter. Let's just do it now. Let's say hand depth, and say this is hand depth times 2. Size of space to yeah, I guess it would be good to mention that it's sort of inwards, not outwards. But check, yes. I know. For I don't know what that's called. For the depth size, I guess. While we're here, maybe we clean up some other thingies. I don't know what that is. Weird. Grab height. Where's grab height from? Ah, okay. Let's just put this here. There's a lot of random things I haven't looked at. Hang distance from wall, search distance. That has to do with searching. What does it do with finding? Okay, let's let's look for the space in front of an edge. Edge, ledge, same thing, sort of. Edge position. Edge. Direction. I think I'm actually playing at something else. So yeah, first thing, I'm gonna just draw another cube where I think the where I think we should check. Edge position minus the hand direction. I'll probably rename this because it's hand direction is perpendicular. The edge direction going inwards to the ledge. Nice cube. Let's make this cube big. So yeah, that's there. It's a little bit far away. That's something. So yeah, that would be bad. And direction. And then I think we've got a variable here saying hang distance from wall, so let's use that. Is that even used anywhere? No. So that's left over from the old ledge finding stuff. So actually, yeah, I'll just use this. So this is that times the hang distance. So that's that. Very cube-like. And now let's collide the cylinder. Collide cylinder. This is hang position. Hang position. Yeah. No. So this stuff will have to be parameterized at some bit. This is basically the size of the character. So I think there's a check in there somewhere. Nah, I can't zoom in any further. Well, one thing I can do is maybe make the character teensy and tiny. Player dot. I don't want to make a character transparent because I haven't really looked into how to do that. I don't know I feel like you have to edit materials and stuff, but maybe that's not true. So the character's teensy and tiny, and yeah, there's this cube here is the check for the character. So I think if we go over here, there we go. So yeah, there should be a collision now. So let's have a look at that. If not is empty, then info.error is equal to info.error no hang space. Very similar. So maybe I should call that something else, like no body space or something. No hand space, no body space. I don't know. Probably can all be renamed at some point. Body head. Sounds a bit weird. I don't know. I think no hang space is better actually. Even though it looks very similar. Yeah. Damn, I need a haircut. A haircut and an eye test. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, works. Not work? Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, that was weird. I don't know why I transported back in time. I don't know if there's a debugger error happening. Let's have a look. Bit concerning. Yeah, that works. There's no no hand space. It will probably affect this. Seems good. Let's see the actual thing. Yeah, so annoyingly, but also good, can't hang on to it. I think there would be something to do actually to make sure that you can hang there because, I mean, look, it looks really close, right? And I think that's because the initial check is actually coming from like the middle of the character's body. And so you probably want to do a check that's sort of slightly up or maybe where hands are or something. But I think that's fine for now. So let's get rid of the debug. Making the character teeny tiny. Let's do that. And let's have a look. So we got grabbing onto here. And ideally. Yeah, that's good. Yay, no grabbing. There's some weird shaking, but I think that's to do with sort of the ledge finding stuff. There's some weird floating point errors at the moment. Which, need to be solved. Because, yeah, it's when the ledge path is growing. But, yeah. It's fine for now. Well, it looks kind of nasty, actually, but... yeah, that ledge check needs to be made way higher, I think. Maybe that can be done now. Ledge searcher. Could be so yeah, let's put it at offset position. I don't know, up here. It might be too high up, but let's have a look. Yeah, that's like right on top of the head. I think it might need to be more like just a little bit higher. I mean, I think again, another thing that could be solved is that, it checks multiple times. There's a really big shake now. I swear that wasn't there before. Seems to be alright. Yeah, that's a little bit better with grabbing that. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I think ideally it would probably check from the center of the body and then maybe do like 5 or 10 checks going up, and then see if there's a ledge there. Because I don't know. I feel like you want a little bit of wiggle room on this, but it feels pretty good for that scenario. It just doesn't feel very good for like this kind of scenario where you have to sort of wait until you fall back down. But I don't know. There's probably stuff we want to do there where you're holding grab, you jump, and then it finds a ledge and then performs sort of different animations instead of having to wait so you jump up and fall down. Ooh, what's that? So yeah. Works pretty nicely. Need to get the controller, game controller. Game control's a lot better for this because that's what it's actually designed for. And also it's got a button on the controller for debug flying around like this. Woo. Some really like weird, very snappy jumping. I think animation can probably hide a lot of that. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah. So let's make the camera actually follow player 2. Yeah, because I haven't really worked out how to make the controller like choose what player yet. That wiggle was still there. I don't know really how to solve that yet. Yeah, I've also added like some raycast. Oh, that's a bug. What's it called? Wow, I'm finding all the bugs right now. Sort of raycast feet so that you step over stuff, but then I also get some weird things like if I like fall just onto the corner of my character, then it sometimes it can get stuck, or sometimes it can snap up too much. I don't know. That'll be a whole other session of just having to think about how to do that, but I don't really have any ideas on how to fix that at the moment. And also, I think it's kind of fine. I think as long as you get something that's somewhat playable and not too buggy, then then you can sort of like test with people and test with yourself. Because otherwise, you could just perfect everything and never actually get anywhere. Yeah, this is feeling quite nice to play actually at the moment. Still feel like there's a bit of a, like there's a bit of a delay when I have to press the button to jump up. But yeah, there's the glitch, the gliding glitch. Yeah, let's use this thing to get up here. Oh, it's an annoying bug. Interesting. Never used to be able to make that jump. Yeah. Yeah, need to tweak the jump stuff at some point. Because at the moment it's just like magic numbers that define like how high you jump. And I want to make it so that there's a calculation I've seen on YouTube somewhere on some talk about jumping. They have a calculation there where you can put in sort of an exact height, and then that's how high your character will jump. So I want to get to that point, because then it'd be really easy to sort of like design levels around that. It seems to be working out. I don't know why I could just jump so far then. Hang on. Hey. Don't know. Yeah, so I think here, if you're grabbing and jumping, it should probably snap straight to a ledge. There's another glitch. Oh, why did it do that? That was really weird. Oh, wow. That's weird. I'm so glad I've changed like the how ledge stuff works, because now I can actually like visualize ledges and what it's found. Oh. I think there's something somewhere where I'm set to vector 0 and then it's like grabbing on its way down, but yeah, I don't know. I need to figure. That's an interesting one. I wonder if I can do that again. Yeah, so that yeah, it's just finicky at the moment. The jumping is real finicky. That's really finicky. How did I do that? For the grabbing, apart from random ledge finding, I don't know how that happened. Let's see. Interesting one. Maybe there's something I can do where I know, because the ledge finding stuff is sort of just building paths. The paths sort of have an expected amount of space between each of the points on the path, and in that case, the point between those spaces was really huge. And maybe there's something I can do where if the point between the two spaces is really huge, then I don't know, log something out, find, yeah, weird one. Don't know. Yeah. You want to replicate that? I don't think it's going to be possible. It felt like it was sort of on its way to the 0-0 point, and because I was holding grab, it grabbed onto something. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, it's not good. But for the most part, it's pretty solid. Could have like minimum ledge sizes. That was a bit weird. Yeah. Pointed also checks between like what way the character's facing, what way the ledge is facing, and if it's too extreme, don't grab onto it, please. Because that is a bit ridiculous. But again, I think that can be fixed with nice animation or something. Because it's kind of nice that you could have these like little holds. Yeah. Seems to be pretty solid though, for the most part. I really want to get that glitch again. That's good. Shaky there. Yeah, very shaky there. I think that'd be a fixed with a lot of sort of floating point errors and stuff. If I can find better ways to find positions on paths where it doesn't change when you extend that path backwards, I think that will fix that. But I haven't thought of any ways yet. But yeah, it's good. The hang space is actually fixing, because I used to be able to climb between there. Now actually I can't, which would be nice. Let's see if I can do that on here. Oh yeah, so that's good. So now, you know, I used to be able to go underneath that. It's actually fixed it quite a bit. Zoom in quickly. Some glitches. Cool. Yeah, there is actually an old level I had that was experiencing glitches. Maybe I can look at that, see if it's fixed by this hang space stuff. My levels are named handily test level and default. So the test level is the default level. And the default one is a test level. So let's change the camera on that. If any robots have any questions, or people, or if there's anyone there, probably not, let me know. Or just say hello. Or don't. It's your life. Yeah, looking pretty solid. So yeah, this is where I was actually experiencing a glitch. Let's see if... Okay, that's good. But also kind of bad. So I think this is... yeah. Ideally I want to be able to climb up that ledge, but I guess there isn't a hand position here. Let's have a look. I mean, it's nice that it sort of fixed it, but yeah. Maybe there's something I can do, because the ledge finding stuff, this is what I'm using the, what I mentioned 30 minutes ago or something. Because I returned sort of why ledge wasn't found, I think at this point you'd be like, oh, okay, oh, I found it then for some reason. That's what I want to happen most of the time. If there's no hand space or something, then look for a ledge a little bit further on. Maybe I could do that now. I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy. Whoa. Big sound. It's looking decent there, actually. Just on some bits. looks decent. No, it'd just be a bit nice if it was a bit more consistent. Because it really depends on where like the pathfinding starts. But ideally, I won't make levels too crap like this. Whoa, that's a big gap. I have no idea how I found it like that. Set. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I can't get it to really repeat that. So it's looking pretty smooth. Let's see. Oh, stamina run out. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm just playing now. The sound is really loud. Hang on a sec. There we go. I'm just playing now because it's fun. It's fun to hang on to things. The human desire to hang out. That works really nice there. That doesn't work nice. Ledge finding is mostly solid. But yeah, I'm not doing anything where I will at some point do stuff where if you can't find a ledge, you know, search in different, you know, research or something like that. Yeah, this used to be real broken on the old ledge finding stuff, so this is good. It's very much more solid than it was before. And it's good because I can't grab a legendary now because there's no space for my robotic body. Yeah, it's looking solid. Hey. Looking solid. That's a glitch. Let's see if there's anyone actually watching. Nope, just me. That's fine. Made the stream to sort of just get myself fixing that ledge stuff, and I fixed it now, so that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I could look into fixing one other thing, but I feel like it won't be as fun. I don't really know the solution, and the bug only appears sometimes. For example, when I'm jumping around, sometimes when you're switching states, the movement is not transferred correctly between states, and so you get like, it seems like it's like an old movement state. It's like using some old jump velocity, and so you see it. So when you're jumping around, sometimes you just randomly jump backwards because it seems like it's stored that velocity somewhere. So maybe I could look into that now. Though it's not going to be very fun. It's going to be me just, yeah, it happened there, but it's hard to see. It's just going to be me logging out stuff. So let's try and do that, maybe. And then call it. First I'll get some coffee, so BRB. Okay, I'm back. That's some nice coffee. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna be fun, but this is the boring part of the show now. This is real development. The problem is I don't really know how to recreate this. It just happens randomly. I think there is like a way to recreate it. Like I feel like there's a series of like steps that would create this. I've noticed that a lot when you jump, grab onto something and then jump again, you'd randomly get it going backwards, but it's really hard to replicate. So I'm trying. I think it happened there. It's so hard to tell. So that I think is fine because I haven't really smoothed it out where you jump and then move. So that seems fine. That seems fine. Mostly seems alright. It just happens randomly when you're like playing around. Like you'll go to do a very important jump and then like jump backwards. I'm wondering if there's anything I can do with just like logging stuff out and then just playing and then seeing what gets logged out. I think there's potentially a thing where, for example, when we're moving, so there's multiple states, and the way the states communicate between each other is they pass sort of I guess messages. So when you transition to a new state, you pass like sort of variable, you pass like values that you want to use in the next state. And so for example, if we look at jumping, when you press jump, you transition to the jump state, and then you pass the movement vector that you want to apply to it. Does that make sense? So let's have a look at the jump state. And I think the movement vector is basically it's basically the velocity, or the movement. So if we go back to the move state, when we move around, we apply the player velocity to a movement variable. So if I just print that out now, print movement, you see in the bottom left, I'm pointing here, but actually I should be pointing like this way. You can see like a vector free of that movement, and so when you jump, you pass in that movement. When you press jump, you pass in that movement to the next state. If you don't do that, so the reason why that's done, actually, I should explain, it's just so that there isn't like kind of any shared variables, though maybe you would want to do something like that. It just means that like a state has an input and output, and there isn't kind of like this shared state between states, and then you don't know why something's happening because something wasn't cleaned up correctly or something like that. But it's funny I say that because something is happening, but I don't know why. And I don't know, it might just be something to do with the movement, some old movement getting passed in. I don't know. So I mean, one thing that could be causing an issue is that like a lot of the there's some local variables to a state, and maybe when you're setting the movement on this, it doesn't get cleaned up. I mean, that could be it. Movement. But there isn't like an X and Y to this. And in the move state, I don't clean up movement there. I mean, it could totally be that. Thing is, it's really hard to tell just because I don't want to really change it too much and then not be able to replicate it. But maybe it isn't getting cleaned up. I just want to see what happens actually if I don't pass movement into jump. I think it will just, you won't be able to do any kind of jumps forwards. So you end up just jumping in place. But the interesting thing is there is some kind of velocity, which I would expect there isn't, and maybe there's something around that. Well, I say that, but I think that's just coming from the input direction. So if we go to the jump state, so we do use the direction. So that little bit of velocity is coming from the direction stuff. I think it'd be interesting actually to move that. Is that moving? No, that's nice and steady. So it probably is something to do with like some leftover movement from move. That's as expected. Let's run and then jump. I don't think that. Well, falling happens. Falling does have slight movement. So, I'm going to copy out that as well. Actually, that reminds me, I need to just quickly commit some of the hang position stuff. Otherwise, maybe it'll get all deleted by accident. I think I wanted that one actually. few things here, that's fine. Check for hang position. Check hang position to see if no position, and set the search height higher, and then let's add this. Cool. Right, let's pass in movement. So movement. This movement. It's got to be the fact that it's not being cleaned up, right? I think that was it. It's really hard to tell. That was it. That was it. Let's think. Yeah, well, it's there. Let's see. I will just clean up movement on exit, and then let's see if that does anything. Seems alright. I think I'm looking for something where it would set movement to be vector 0. I mean, maybe that is. Maybe that's it. Ah, I think that was it. I can't tell. I guess there's a bit where you can land, rotate, then jump, but the movement hasn't like updated yet. it's really difficult to tell. Oh, that was it. That was the bug. Okay, so it isn't cleaning up. Cleaning up isn't an issue. I think what I want to do is, I guess on every, like, it'd be good to like visualize just the state changes in what's been passed through. So I think I'm gonna like log out what kind of stuff gets passed. Translation to. Pass in the params, and then let's just do something like that. Yeah, if it exists, I guess. If previous state, then do this. Else, let's say nothing. Cool. Wow, there's a lot of states. Nothing to debug. I don't know where it's going. Oh yeah, there's like 4 players in the scene, and there's 2 players used for like a camping scene, and so that's, I guess, that. Nothing to move. That's the first 2 players. Move to 4. Move to 4. 4 to move. 4 to move. Okay, let's start jumping around. And I think while jumping around, I'm going to start just recording the screen because it's helpful to play back. So that works. That works. It's really interesting actually seeing the parameters being passed through. It's kind of cool. Ah, there it was. Okay. Right, let's have a look. So I had landed. Oh, that's so interesting. It's so interesting seeing the states, because when I expected to go straight to movement, but because there's it's weird that it goes to idle, right? Anyway, full. Oh, sorry, that's the animation going to idle, not the state. Okay, so it does actually go to the move state. There's 0 direction when you first initially go on this, so it goes to idle. It goes to the full. What? I think that is the movement passed in, but it's so interesting because look, you can see down here that my controller stick never changes position, and so it's so interesting that full to jump gets past 5 on the x coordinate, -1 on the z coordinate, x, y, z. But move to full looks correct, I think. I don't know why it goes to full, but move to full. It's hard to tell. Move to full. Be interesting to see if you know, if I play this game, is it something to do with the full state, just randomly getting in there and then messing stuff up. I just need to think. So 5 minus 2. So let's have a look in 3D space. Just gonna add this node. So let's have a look. Just see what direction. What was it? 5 minus 2. Yeah, that's basic. So if that's the center, yeah, that's absolute. That's the wrong direction there. Let's see that video again quickly. Very interesting. This player's not good for frame by frame, so let's have a look at quick time. I want to see actually when I'm running, I'm going that direction. Then I jump, which gives it the 4 minus 1 velocity. Falling, correct. Change direction. Because look, I changed direction like during this bit. And then yeah, still I wonder if even if it interprets. No, it should interpret my direction. Woo. Be good to get again. Let's have a look. Let's do this. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the what is it? Move, I guess. It's possible that because this is on a physics update, it seems weird, doesn't it? Move. Why does jump happen? Oh yeah, jump happens down here. And it's possible that like the physics update hasn't happened yet, and then but the input handler gets called before the physics update, and it uses an old player velocity. It's weird though, because movement should be zeroed out, but I guess it's only zeroed out Only on exit. Nah, that seems wrong. Seems wrong. I want to print out for every physics frame, but that seems like a bad idea. Movement is. Maybe I should just give it a try. Let's move this out. And let's move it into the physics update. So that it always happens after getting the player velocity. Ah, yeah, maybe it's something. You know what? You could be fooling. The player velocity is wrong. You point it in another direction. The player velocity hasn't updated. It's a hard one though, because you don't really want to get. You do want to. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe it should just come from input direction. I mean, that would fix a lot of stuff. Oh no, very broken. Let me get rid of the zero stuff. What the fuck? Oh dear. That's very weird. That is. That's interesting. I can't put it there. I don't know why. Maybe this night might need to be solved another day. I'm not sure. One more visualization. At least I can procrastinate on that. That's just totally. Ah, interesting. Okay. So if I hold right and then start jumping, yeah, look. Sometimes it's not listening to the direction. So it is almost like that physics update isn't actually updating the velocity, which would kind of make sense, I think. Because if you use the player direction, player forward. Let's just copy that over quickly. And then change that to MOV for now. So this is kind of wrong. But even that's still really broken. The direction's changed. Play forward, direction length. Oh, direction. Let's get updated every frame now. Draw it up. See, the direction is correct. So that's correct. Direction is getting updated. Oh, I've lost myself. Okay, move. New move. This is cool. Input direction for now. Wonder if I'm going to be even able to see this. Yeah, I can see it. The red arrow is pointing the other way, but I am somehow jumping the wrong way. Let's have a look at the jump. Does that take in any player velocity? Face towards into movement jump. The into movement comes from the movement plus the strength, which makes sense. Up to 0. Debug trace dot step into jump movement. I don't remember any of this stuff. Let me have a look. Type. So yeah, I have this like I built this like little debug thing inspired by what they did on The Witness, where it lets you sort of basically, because you know when you're doing raycasts, you know per frame you can miss them because it could just be literally one frame, and so this will sort of save all the raycasts and the points, and you can step through them slowly. So I don't know. Let's see if this helps. I just forgot. I just wrote this very quickly once, so I don't really remember all the stuff. Position, direction, length, and color. Position is the player's position. Transform origin. Direction is the into the jump movement. Length. Let's do 1.2. And then color, let's do as color green. It's not the prettiest API. And then we can record that. But I don't know how helpful this will be. And then step through it. Not very helpful right now. Let's see. Boing, 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 boing. God, sometimes it's really stuck. Into the movement is totally broken there. I wonder if it is sometimes just not there. Let's see. It's into jump movement. Doesn't equal vector 3.0. So it's never 0, which is good. Sometimes it's just straight up wrong. Ooh, you know what? I wonder if I'm transitioning into the jump state when in another place. Let's see. Jump. Held. Jump. Yeah, so it does happen. Okay, so this is interesting. This is falling. Is this the coyote time jump? Could be happening here. Could be messing it up. Could be old movement. I guess I could just remove this for now and just see. Still totally wrong. Pretty sure that's not coyote time. Let's just record some of that. So you can see the direction is that way. The into the movement is this way. Full move, jump. Why is that so late? Move, jump. Encoding overload. My computer is quite hot. Interesting. So isn't coyote time? Into movement does get cleared. I wonder if there's any into movement before. I wonder if there's any like into movement before jumping. No, it's all vector 0. It must be. Move. Yeah, don't know how. This is what I mean. It's gonna be kind of. It's kind of boring. It's not boring. It's just not fun to watch. Probably. I don't know. Let's see. Internet. Let me just get rid of that again and see what happens. Very weird. You know what? The direction is based on the player forward. Maybe the player hasn't rotated around yet before. Yeah, let's try that. Hang on, so if I get rid of that. Why is it based on the player forward? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I play forward. Yeah, because you can only jump in the direction you're facing. It's possible that the player hasn't actually rotated around. And actually, if we look at that video, okay, no, the player has definitely rotated around. But four. No, I don't know. Definitely, players definitely rotated around. I mean, we can just get rid of that. If we just do play input direction and normalize it. Oh, that's not good. Movement. Yeah. So the input direction is effect 2. So that's but we want the relative direction. So let's use this direction. That. You know what? I can't get. I think that was it. I guess sometimes the rotation hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. I guess because rotation, maybe. Yeah, that's it. Maybe rotation. Let's see. Face towards. Yeah, rotation only happens on a physics frame. So I guess there could be. Yeah, you could be between frames before the rotation has happened, but you have read the input, and so I guess maybe that's why. Let's try. I mean, the player rotation isn't even. It doesn't really care about any physics stuff, right? Because it's only the input direction. So maybe the rotation should always be updated in a normal frame update. So to fix that, I have to go back to movement. Right, let's see. Is this? It's still broke when using movement, but then movement is only updated in the physics frame. So really, I guess. Yeah, I guess that could be the issue. What was it? Dot length. I don't know. That's weird. Here's some old code. Input direction. Yeah, that's a lot better. I can already tell instantly. I don't know. I guess there's something. Sometimes. Yeah, no, it's better. Direction dot length. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel good yet. I guess because it's no longer based on the movement, just purely direction. Your velocity changes. It just feels a bit weird now. Oh yeah, I've turned off clarity time as well. That should probably be fixed. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of fixed it for now. It's not great. I guess I just need to dive a little bit deeper into like when stuff is exactly happening. But the movement stuff anyway needs to be rewritten because it is very hacky at the moment. You know, there needs to be like, even when the jumping velocity is based on movement, it doesn't feel right. There needs to be a little bit more like sort of in-air control potentially, or just like kind of a better build-up. But yeah, I just mainly wanted to get rid of that glitch because when play testing, if you jump and you just end up jumping in the opposite direction, it doesn't feel good. So it's just good to get those rid of those really broken stuff. Yeah, I think that's all I'll do for now. And now I think I'll sleep and cry and then wake up and not cry and eat and then sleep. So thank you if anyone did watch. Yeah, goodbye.